I'm Major John Madden, sitting here on a wonderful, extremely solid bench. Extremely solid. Nobody's walking away with this picnic bench or this wonderful table that belonged to my hosts, Josue Diaz and his dad, Leo Diaz. Leo's shop is right in front of us here, and my car is the big black van over there being repaired. And we are on the outskirts of Victoria, Mexico, right near the Los Troncones section of the Sierra Madre Oriental mountain range. 225 miles south of the U.S. border. I've been down here for a little over 4 weeks now, and parked in that exact spot for a week while they're sending parts out to the machine shop and fussing with this and fussing with that. Yesterday at that bench over there, which is equally hefty and solid, I made 4 videos called Creating Camelot Wherever I Go. And they describe my journey over the last 4 years, from crippled by a faulty diagnosis of bipolar disorder and terrible medications, through dogs. Dogs are, that's the dog who led the charge there is my magic with the red collar. So in those 4 videos, Creating Camelot Wherever I Go, I described my journey over the last 4 years, from being one crippled human being to waking up on June 26th of 2019 and riding around in now 2 vans, always with a dog riding shotgun. Doing good, trying to give back. Being a bodhisattva, not calling myself enlightened, but just a real human being who is now happy all the time and wants to give back. And I just had loaded, hey, don't growl. I just had loaded on one of those part 4 of that series, a video showing me juggling. Yeah, juggling. Something I never had done before in my life. I dug out the first video of me doing it back in December. Never attempted juggling before that in my life, and suddenly I can do it. You know, not professionally, but if you watch that video, I think you'll say, holy shit. That's what a cop in Los Fresnos, Texas said when he came by asking why I was parked where I was and why I had my shit all over the ground. And I said, I'm looking for my iPhone. He was a sweet Latino guy that was fine. And then I said, officer, would you watch what I can do with these tennis balls and tell me if it makes any sense for a 76-year-old to be able to do this? And he said, no, it does not make sense to me that you should be able to do that. And it doesn't make sense to me. So when you watch my videos of me doing it, you'll hear me squealing with delight and surprise and like, what's going on here? Anyway, why can I do this? Well, I think it's because over the course of 4 years, I've gone from a heady intellectual to a guy who really is in my body. I be in my body. And I was writing a long description of that video, which got wiped out, suddenly erased from my iPhone. And I said, it's not intended to be typed, you monkey face. It's intended to be spoken on a video. Do a video specifically about Richard Alpert, Timothy Leary, and being here now. So back in the 60s, maybe they started it earlier, groundbreaking research at Harvard into the potential of LSD for psychological growth. Timothy Leary, not in Mexico, they haven't heard that name, but in the U.S., unless you're young. If you're young, you maybe, Timothy Leary, what song is that? His name pops up in so many songs because he was the pioneer in LSD research, along with Richard Alpert, was co-equal in that research. Whereas Leary stayed with psychedelics forever and became an icon for that movement. Richard Alpert went to India, like the Beatles did, and so many in that era, and went to a different guru, a guy named Maharajji, and got the name Ram Dass, and wrote the very influential book, Be Here Now, and it influenced me and a whole lot of age mates. Now, I'm 76, so you may not know people who were influenced by that book, but it holds up really well. I really recommend it. And Alpert Ram Dass remained an important teacher for me and lots of people right through till his death. He's dead now. I'm almost positive he had a terrible stroke and was limping along for a long time, I'm pretty positive he's dead now. But what a guy! What a guy! The irony was that although I threw myself into meditation and then got initiated into transcendental meditation and did that for a couple years and studied meditation under several more teachers, the most famous one being Thich Nhat Hanh, who passed away about a year ago in December of 22, I'm pretty sure. And I studied pretty intensively with him and even got to be with him, although he was from Vietnam, but mostly lived in Plum Village, France. But he'd make a big trip to the US every summer, and twice I got to be with him for 10 days. Influenced me an awful lot. But in spite of all that, back in the heyday of meditation, when I was a student of a guy named Sri Chinmoy, who was the real McCoy down in New York City, I was teaching 100 people at a crack at meditation classes at the University of Rochester, where I was studying for my PhD in clinical psychology. And guess what? I never could do it. No. I had many, many fabulous experiences, but in terms of really being... No, I was a doer. I was an overachiever. I came out of a working class family and got a PhD and did management consulting at AT&T, the largest company in the world. I was an overachiever. I was a doer. And being is something I've learned in the last 4 years. Yep. But I have. Yeah, I have. I'm good at it now. It's what I do is to be. And I no longer even offer to do anything for people. I don't say I'm a psychologist. I don't have that on my card. I don't claim to be a therapist or a coach or a mentor or any of that bullshit. I say I be. I'll show up and be me. You show up and be you. And something good is probably going to happen. It usually does. Now, on that juggling video, you will see the second song is what I call my most important personal anthem. It's not the only one because I'm oriented towards music. Shakira is a Colombian vocalist, probably the most popular Latina singer in the world these days. And the song you will see, the second song on that juggling video, is called Estoy Aquí. I'm here. And I've never bothered yet to translate all the words, but that's all I need. And I've said that if I were to have my memoir of the last 3-4 years published, I wanted to read, the title would be, I'm Here Now. I am here now. I'm finally here. I could cry. I'm fighting tears. I am here. I'm so grateful to everyone and all the good and awful experiences I had along the way that got me here. Some of them were pretty awful, but they got me here, and I'm grateful. Good. If I had more than 30 seconds on the TikTok clock, I would juggle my iPhone. No, I do have, it's a very powerful personal principle that I do not juggle my iPhones. I'll juggle anything else that's at hand, but not my iPhones. Okay, bye.